So if you're a Primavera P6 user, you know how updates go. Some are pretty small, others are, well, they're updates. But every now and then an update drops that just feels different. One that really truly changes how you get your work done. And that's exactly what we're talking about today with version 24.12. Oracle has rolled out some enhancements that are not just about adding new buttons. They're about saving you clicks, saving you time, and honestly, saving you a whole lot of frustration. So let's dive right in.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The buzz from project management experts is that this is the one. This is the update they've been waiting for. And in the next few minutes, you're going to see exactly why. We're not talking about minor little tweaks here. We're talking about real quality of life improvements that you'll feel every single day.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with some game-changing updates to schedule editing. Then, we'll see how life is getting a whole lot easier for admins. After that, we'll check out some new collaboration tools, and we'll wrap up with some seriously powerful updates for data and reporting. Let's get to it.
First up, let's talk about the place where schedulers and project managers spend most of their day, actually editing the schedule. This is where P6 has rolled out some of its most satisfying and, frankly, long-awaited changes.
Just think about it for a second. How many times have you been buried deep in a schedule, hunting and pecking for relationships, thinking through predecessors, then successors, one by one, just to unlink a handful of activities? It's tedious, it takes forever, and let's be honest, it's just plain annoying. Well, you can say goodbye to all that. That entire frustrating process is now officially a thing of the past because version 24.12 completely changes the game. And check this out. You can now just select a whole group of activities, right-click and hit Unlink Activities, and boom! Just like that, all the relationships between those activities are gone. But here's the really brilliant part. Any relationships those activities have with tasks you didn't select, they stay perfectly intact. This gives you this incredible surgical precision and saves so much time. The Gantt chart is also getting way more intuitive. You can now literally just drag a milestone to a new date, and P6 automatically applies a start on or after constraint. No more digging through menus. And for activities that are already in progress, you can now drag the remaining early start bar right there on the chart to make adjustments. It's visual, it's fast, and it just works the way you think it should.
Okay, so schedule editing is a whole lot easier. But what about all you admins out there who are managing the actual users? Well, you are going to love these next updates. The theme here is super simple: way fewer clicks and a whole lot more control. And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, that's the before, that frustrating treasure hunt through window after window trying to find the right permission. And on the right, that's the new reality. One single, categorized, and searchable page with every security privilege. This is a massive time saver for setting up new users or tweaking profiles.
Now here is another huge win for admins. Imagine this, you set up one template user with the absolute perfect configuration. Well now, with this Copy User Settings tool, you can apply everything from that template, module access, security profiles, even user preferences, to other users in bulk. It makes getting everyone on the same page incredibly simple.
And they didn't stop there. There are some other great quality of life tweaks on the main user admin page. You can now see a quick roll-up of your license counts for each module at a glance. And, my personal favorite, there's now a simple filter to hide all those inactive user accounts, which gives you a much cleaner, more accurate view of who's actually using the system.
It might seem like a small change, but this one is brilliant. The login screen now always shows the database and language fields. They're not hidden in some advanced menu anymore. This tiny UI tweak helps prevent one of the most common user mistakes out there: accidentally logging into the wrong database, like your test environment instead of production. It's a lifesaver.
Okay, we've covered how P6 is making life easier for schedulers and for admins. But projects are all about teamwork, right? So what about the wider team? This next batch of features is all about connecting everyone to the project data more effectively.
This right here is a big one. For years, managers have had to do this weird dance where they jump out of their main P6 professional client and log into P6 Web just to approve timesheets. Well, not anymore. Timesheet approvals are now built directly into P6 Pro, right under the Tools menu, keeping managers in the one application where they do most of their work.
And this new interface is a complete one-stop shop. Right from this single screen, a manager can do everything they need to do. They can approve, reject, delegate the approval to someone else if they're busy, or even fire off a quick email back to the resource for clarification. It's a fully self-contained hub for approvals.
You know that back and forth email chain where you're trying to figure out which exact task someone is talking about? Yeah, this feature basically kills that. When you email activity details from P6 now, it includes a direct link. The person who gets it just clicks the link, and P6 opens right to that project and that exact activity. No more searching, no more confusion, just instant clarity. And one last thing on the collaboration front, this is a heads up for anyone using the P6 team member web interface. The default view for timesheets is now the modern standard view, which has much better tools like custom filters and search. The old classic view is being phased out, so it's a really good time to get comfortable with the new, more powerful layout.
All right, for our final section, we're going to get a little more technical, but trust me, these updates are incredibly powerful. This is all about getting deeper insights from your project information and having better control over your data.
So before we jump into the feature itself, we need to quickly talk about something called the hierarchical code value path. Now, it sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. It's not just the final activity code, it's the entire path, from the very top level all the way down. This path gives you the full story, the full context for that code.
So here's why that matters. The big update is that when you export data now, you can include that full hierarchical path. Before, you might have only gotten the final code, which, outside of P6, could be totally meaningless. But now, you get the full context. This is absolutely critical for data integrity if you're working with tools like Power BI or any other external reporting system. It's a game changer.
And they packed in a few more awesome data controls. You can now get to your project audit data right from the EPS page for a quick check. You can now preview the impact of a baseline update before you actually commit to it, and you can now choose whether or not to import responsible managers from XOR files. It's all about giving you more visibility and fewer nasty surprises. So when you take a step back and you look at all of these features together, from unlinking activities with a single click to streamlining security and creating direct communication links, a really clear picture starts to emerge. This entire update is laser-focused on one thing: making your daily work more efficient and a whole lot less frustrating. And that really brings us to the final and I think most important question. By automating all these tedious tasks and streamlining your workflow, P6 24.12 gives you back your most valuable resource, your time. So the real question is, with P6 taking care of more of the busy work, what bigger, more strategic challenges are you going to solve?